Healing the Addicted Brain, the revolutionary, science-based alcoholism and addiction recovery program by Dr. Harold C. Urschel III provides a comprehensive exploration of addiction, presenting it not as a moral weakness but as a chronic brain disease. Dr. Urschel combines cutting-edge neuroscience with practical strategies for recovery, challenging outdated methods and advocating for a more scientific and compassionate approach to treating addiction. The book's central argument is that addiction is a medical condition rooted in changes to brain chemistry and structure, requiring medical treatment and long-term support for recovery. The author begins by explaining the biology of addiction, detailing how substances such as alcohol, opioids, and stimulants affect the brain. These substances target the brain's reward system, releasing an intense flood of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This flood of dopamine overwhelms the brain, creating euphoria and reinforcing the desire to use the substance again. Over time, the brain compensates by reducing its natural dopamine production and its sensitivity to dopamine signals, leading to a state of dependence. At this stage, individuals no longer use substances to achieve euphoria but to avoid painful withdrawal symptoms and feel normal. This vicious cycle underscores the compulsive nature of addiction, which is driven by physical changes in the brain rather than a lack of willpower. Dr. Urschel argues that addiction must be treated as a chronic disease, similar to diabetes or heart disease. Just as insulin is used to manage diabetes, addiction requires medical interventions to correct the brain's altered chemistry. This perspective challenges the traditional abstinence-only approaches that rely on willpower, tough love, or punitive measures, which often fail to address the underlying biological causes of addiction. These outdated methods, the author contends, are not only ineffective but also perpetuate stigma, discouraging people from seeking help. A cornerstone of the book is the Advocacy for Medication-Assisted Treatment, MAT, which combines FDA-approved medications with therapy and lifestyle changes to support recovery. Medications such as naltrexone, buprenorphine, and acamprosate help repair the brain's reward system, reduce cravings, and block the euphoric effects of substances, making relapse less likely. For example, naltrexone prevents the pleasurable effects of alcohol or opioids, reducing the motivation to use. These medications are not a crutch or a substitution for addiction but a legitimate and necessary part of medical treatment. Dr. Urschel explains that MAT can provide stability, giving individuals the opportunity to focus on therapy and rebuilding their lives while their brains heal. The concept of neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to rewire itself, plays a central role in recovery. Dr. Urschel explains that while addiction damages the brain's neural pathways, these pathways can gradually repair themselves with time and consistent abstinence. However, this healing process requires more than just stopping substance use. Detoxification, while an important first step, is insufficient on its own. True recovery involves addressing the psychological and social aspects of addiction, as well as the physical changes in the brain. Without comprehensive treatment, the brain remains vulnerable to relapse. Therapy is another vital component of recovery. Dr. Urschel highlights the effectiveness of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helps individuals identify and change the thought patterns that lead to substance use. He also emphasizes the value of motivational interviewing, a technique that encourages individuals to explore their reasons for change and strengthen their commitment to recovery. Group therapy and peer support, such as Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, or Smart Recovery, provide additional benefits by fostering a sense of community and shared accountability. Importantly, therapy also addresses the underlying issues that often accompany addiction, such as trauma, anxiety, and depression. By treating these co-occurring conditions, individuals can build a stronger foundation for long-term recovery. One of the book's most reassuring messages is that relapse is a normal part of the recovery process, not a failure. Dr. Urschel encourages individuals and their families to view relapse as an opportunity to learn and adjust their treatment plans. He outlines strategies to minimize the risk of relapse, including identifying triggers, developing coping mechanisms, and using medications to reduce cravings or block the effects of substances. The author emphasizes that recovery is not a linear journey but a lifelong process that requires persistence and support. Family involvement is another key theme. Addiction often causes significant strain on relationships, but rebuilding these connections is crucial for long-term success. Dr. Urschel provides practical advice for families, including how to set healthy boundaries, avoid enabling behaviors, and offer emotional support. He also stresses the importance of family members participating in therapy to address their own feelings of guilt, frustration, or anger. A supportive and stable home environment can make a profound difference in the recovery process. In addition to these practical strategies, the book offers hope by showcasing the transformative power of science. Advances in neuroscience and pharmacology have revolutionized the understanding and treatment of addiction, making recovery more achievable than ever before. Dr. Urschel reminds readers that addiction is not a life sentence. With the right combination of medication, therapy, and lifestyle changes, individuals can heal their brains, rebuild their lives, and achieve lasting recovery. The author concludes by urging society to adopt a more compassionate and science-based approach to addiction. Stigma and misinformation have long hindered progress in addiction treatment, but by recognizing addiction as a medical condition, we can create a more supportive environment for recovery. Dr. Urschel's approach is rooted in optimism and evidence, emphasizing that recovery is not only possible but highly probable with the right tools and support. Healing the Addicted Brain is a groundbreaking guide that challenges outdated beliefs and provides a clear, actionable roadmap for recovery. By combining the latest scientific insights with practical advice, Dr. Urschel offers a comprehensive and compassionate framework for healing the brain and reclaiming a fulfilling, substance-free life.